I grew up loving stand-up. I remember watching Saturday Night Live and everything as a kid. My dad loved. I grew up in a house where everybody laughed all the time. I love making my mom laugh. My dad is the funniest guy I know, so always loved laughter. I think when Eddie Murphy Raw came out, that's when I was like, wow, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen, like on stage ever. And it was a comedian, Eddie Murphy, and I couldn't believe, like, he was like a rock star. And that's when I was like, man, I want to do that one day. It's like that feeling where I don't want to be like, where like all comedians be like, man, it was like I left my body and I watched myself, but no, it was really, it was incredible. Like, I had been working on this 4 minutes forever, and when I finally got to perform it, and I got some laughs, when I got that first laugh, I tell people I've done a lot of things in my life. I don't want to be like, oh, I've done a lot of cool stuff, but I've done a lot of cool stuff. And that was the coolest thing ever. Like when I got the first laugh from being on stage, from something that I thought about and I wrote down on paper and then I performed it was, I mean, there's just, it's unmatched. And I watched my wife give birth to twin boys, and it still doesn't match that feeling. So I don't want to sound like, but that's how I felt. I grew up on Def Comedy Jam, so I was the dude that I was like, I gotta leave the party, or I couldn't go to the party. I'm 40, so that was like when I was a teenager, and I was like, I'm gonna not go out until I watch Def Comedy Jam, and then I would go out. So I grew up on Def Comedy Jam, Martin Lawrence. I love Bill Burr specials. I'm a Kevin Hart fan. I love what he does. He's one of the hardest working dudes ever made, ever to do it, ever to touch the mic. So I love what Kevin Hart does. I love watching him perform. I love Chris Rock. I love. Man, the list goes on. Bill Burr is my top guy. I'm not an old school comedy fan. I'm like not one of those like super like comedy, guys that's like, oh, I gotta take it all the way back to Pryor and Carlin and all them. I'm pretty much, I love Saturday Night Live, and I love Def Comedy Jam, and that's what really got me going to really want to do comedy. I'm a Eddie Murphy guy, like the Beverly Hills Cops and the 48 Hours, and I mean, I'm all over the place. I mean, Princess Bride. I mean, wow. I didn't know. That's a great question. It's specials. Like I said, anything Burr does, I watch it. Louis C.K. I really love what he does too. I'm a big Jim Gaffigan fan too. I love what Gaffigan does. I love what he does. Chris Rock, I think, is Chappelle, our modern day. Like, those are the people who you really need to listen to really think about what's going on in America from their perspective. I think they have great perspectives. But I love laughing. Anything that makes me laugh, I watch it. I'll laugh. I love it. Disorderlies. I was just having a conversation about Disorderlies. Was one of the funniest movies of all time. I got into an argument over Disorderlies with the Fat Boys. So yeah. I don't know, man. Comedy is. I love it, man. I love it. I think all the best movies are comedies, and they never get the love. Dumb and Dumber. Oh my God. They should get more respect than they do, but And then Living Color. Wow, Living Color sketch show. Are you kidding me? And Living Color was another show that I wouldn't do anything because it was coming on TV. I wouldn't leave the house until I watched In Living Color back in the day. I liked Mad TV when it first started. Sketch shows. Saturday Night Live was king for me. When Adam Sandler and Farley and all those guys were on there. I think that was the golden age of Saturday Night Live. Chris Rock was on there. Yeah. I would just love to go on to Bill Burr and just be around him and see how he operates and how he does what he does. I had the pleasure of, I was hanging out with a guy who's close personal friends with him, and he had a phone call with him, and he put him on speakerphone, and I got to speak to him, and he was just, it sounded like it was working, like he was doing a bit at this conversation, and he was just being him, and I was like, man, I would just enjoy being around him. Like I could just be at the Waffle House with him, like just eating waffles, talking about life and stuff, and so yeah, I would love to. Burr, Chris Rock. I don't know if I want to be with Kevin Hart or like a Fluffy, because they big time. They doing stadiums and all that, and I don't know how much interactions with the fans they have after the shows are over. I'd love to do something where it's big, but then I also have a chance to like talk to the people and take pictures and do all that stuff and be, have fun with the people. So. I think Tosh is like one of the, I think he's the king of mean. I like to call him the Tosh. Daniel Tosh is incredible. I know Jeff Ross is the roast master, but I love what he does. Jamie Foxx is one of my favorite people to ever like entertain. I love his acting, his comedy, his singing. I think he's one of, but he's hilarious. I'd love to get roasted by Jamie Foxx. Cat Williams, I love Cat Williams too, and then probably Burr after that. Yeah, like that's just that was a quick 5, but I think it works out. I'm retired military. I'm working with the Air Force Wounded Warriors and maybe working with some of the other Wounded Warrior programs in the Department of Defense, like the Marines and the Army and the Navy. I would love to go on a tour. I really want to perform overseas for the troops with the Armed Forces Entertainment. I definitely think that's attainable here down the road. I want to get a little, I really want to get serious about like a little comedy clip series on YouTube. Maybe get some subscribers, maybe get some people paying attention to that. I'm a long run guy, so I'm not in a rush for things. I just want to just continue to laugh and make people laugh and have people enjoy what I do. So maybe more clubs, some more festivals down the road. I've done some festivals, maybe some bigger ones, get on some bigger stages. So that, I think maybe I'll do more festivals, bigger stages, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not in control of this, I'm a big believer in that. It's just all, I got to do the work and things will, things will pan out, things will happen, so. Maybe some acting, maybe acting down the road. I've done improv before. I wasn't a big fan of. Improv is cool, but improv is it's real. I like the roughness of stand-up comedy. I like getting your feelings hurt at times. I like not always killing. I like that. I love that about stand-up comedy. Improv, it's a team, and it's everybody's patting each other on the back, and you always do good. Everybody always does great in improv. So, no offense to improv. I got a lot of improv friends, but I think acting would be cool down the road. Brett James, or the Brett James. Some people are like, it's not the, it's the. I'm like, whatever. TheBrettJames, the Brett James. I'm at the Brett James on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's a country singer named Brett James, so I had to be the Brett James. So, but that's where you can find me. I got some things in the works. I'm part of a group called the Veterans of Comedy, where it's veteran comedians from the military. That we're in a group and we tour and we do a lot of things for the troops and stuff. So I got some things going on with them and the Veteran Warrior Entertainment Group that is gonna start taking off here shortly. So that's where you can find me. I just hope they laughed and had a good time. And I like when I get off stage and somebody could relate to me, like the same thing happened or something happened to them, like in the same capacity or whatever. And I like when people say, "Oh man, I like, man, you're real, man. I like what you do." And I want you to want to have a beer with me after I get off stage. That's what I really want to go have a beer with you when I get off stage. I hope like when I get off stage you want to grab a beer with me. That's what I really want to have happen. Guys, this is comedian Brett James. Check me out on qdeepi.com and holla at your boy.